doubt it.
But I'm sure he appreciates it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have David Rosler on the line with us. David, welcome to the ride, my friend.
Hi, how are you? Enjoying the show.
Well, thank you very much. So glad that you were able to wait there through the timeout that we had. And Brian Miller and I are hosting the ride today, and we're so glad you've jumped in and ask you to buckle up so that you're safe.
Okay, pardon me, I hate to tell you this, but suddenly there was a beep, and I can hardly hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we might need to let me know if it gets better here, and we'll see if it gets better. And if it doesn't, maybe we'll put you on hold and reach out to you. Can you hear us better now?
Yeah. All right. I wish I'd been part of that conversation about the Earth and climate change and all that sort of thing, because I think people miss the proportionality of the causation that they're talking about. It makes me think a little bit of when they'd send the shuttle up, and people would say, oh, no, there's a big change in the weather because they sent the shuttle up. Well, you know how big the shuttle is compared to the atmosphere of the Earth? I mean, it's smaller than a speck of dust, practically.
No doubt.
So, it's having no effect, and I think that's probably true for the man-made aspects of global warming, but I didn't say that.
So let me ask you, as long as we're on the subject, because Brian and I were talking about it during the break as well, are you, what is your position on global warming, or, I think I know what it is, or climate change? Where's your position on that?
Well, it's either global warming or it isn't global warming. It can't be global warming one year and global cooling the next year. The Earth has gone through these phases for millennia, and they're going to continue to go through these phases. And some of the tortured logic you hear from the man-made global warming people about why, if it's global warming, you should expect it to be a colder winter. Look, I'm not a stupid guy, but things have got to be presented in a way that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm really not getting that from them. But I haven't studied it that closely. So maybe they're right, but I wish that they would present their arguments in a way that was a bit more coherent and made a bit more common sense.
Okay.
Well, David, we're glad that you joined us today. Let's talk a little bit about your movie and where it's going. If you would, give the listening audience a little bit of background about yourself and about the movie.
Oh, well, no artist wants to talk about his past. He's only interested in his renewal. If they want to see my bona fides, they can go to davidrosler.com. That's ROSLER.com. The project now is Orbiter. It is we kind of call it a faith-based science fiction film, but it's barely science fiction. It's more like a Tom Clancy suspense political thriller that just happens to take place on the International Space Station when nuclear World War III breaks out on Earth. That's the basic premise, and you have two people who are highly devout, surrounded by people who are agnostic, and how their faith plays into how things get saved and how agnosticism hinders that sort of progress in an emergency is sort of the moral lesson of the film.
Okay, well that sounds fantastic. I know that here in East Tennessee, with the mostly Christian base that we have, religious base, I'm sure this movie would be of interest, and we're certainly glad that you're bringing more of those views to the general public.
Well, I'll tell you, if I can cut in for one moment.
Sure.
Your audience may be interested to know that whether an investor steps in now with very big money or we simply do it from the proceeds of Orbiter. I've done a lot of research over the last 2 years about the best place to start a Christian motion picture studio, which would be, if we even do half as well as Fireproof, or a fraction as well as War Room, when we expect to actually beat those numbers pretty handily. I intend on relocating down to Knoxville to build the studio. And when we're not shooting on the floor of the studio, we're going to have it open to other Christian filmmakers. Our staff will be salaried. I like people to practice because that's how the old studios worked. They didn't call guys sitting around at Malibu 3 years out of every 4 waiting for a gig to come up. These guys were on salary. They punched time cards. The greatest cinematographers in the world, the greatest writers in the world. So we will have our salaried people working for other Christian filmmakers for free. And they can use the studio for free. And the benefit of that to the filmmakers is obvious, and the benefit to that for us is that keeps our people practicing while other films are in pre- and post-production.
I was reading some of the background material before we came in today and yesterday as well. I was looking at some of the things that you wrote about, how some of the other, which you claim as the Christian conservative film producers aren't actually lending a hand to help others. Can you give us some examples about that? Or?
Well, look, I don't want to name names. You've got a couple of brothers out there who do very nice work, but to my knowledge, and according to everybody I've spoken to, they're not out there spreading the wealth around. Now, to be fair, maybe they can't, because if they have to deal with distributors like Sony and so forth, they're going to lose their shirt. You know, you don't get much back. The distributor is generally entirely confiscatory. The rule of thumb for an independent is get all your money in the advance when you sign the contract, because you'll never see another dime.
I got it.
What we're doing is I've already got at least one very large theater chain that respects faith-based films very much, and they've accepted me as the distributor.
So I see from the information you've put a bunch of your own money into the program, at the project itself. Are you expected to get the rest of the funding from some kind of funding source or crowdfunding type thing? Or?
Well, I wish we could. But the fact is, to do crowdfunding, you're going to have a presence on social media, on Facebook and Twitter, and we've been massively censored to the point where, you post something about Orbiter. Now, not to get self-aggrandizing, but Orbiter is not a common project. You don't open up your Facebook page and see a post about, a 3D stereoscopic faith-based film that takes place on the International Space Station. But you post, and then you look at all the posts above you and all the posts beneath you, over and over and over again. 100 likes, 200 likes. One group has 500,000 participants, 500,000 group members. 500, 600 likes, several hundred shares. Above you and beneath you, Orbiter, nothing.
So you make a claim that I guess either Facebook and Twitter both are putting a hold on your project a little bit.
Well, it's not a claim. I think if you go to the page on orbitermovie.com about Facebook and Twitter censorship, I think we make the case.
Yeah, I took a look at that. It's really compelling, and just we've got a little bit of time left. Just playing, excuse the pun, devil's advocate a little bit. I think some of the information that's on there, and I kind of questioned a little bit of the message that you have, along with the stuff that's posted on there. I mean, it's a little shocking.
Well, we know what we're talking about. I mean, if it's not just me that's saying this. The FCC, the chairman of the FCC, in the last few weeks, called out Twitter and Facebook and Google, meaning YouTube, for the exact same kind of censorship. The NRB, the National Religious Broadcasters Association, they have a new initiative called Internet Watch because of the censorship of Christians. Your own Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Blackburn, just came out with a bill and everyone should really, really support it. It's terribly important. It's H.R. 4682, the Open Internet Preservation Act, and it's specifically because of the censorship of Christians and conservatives on the Internet. This is no longer a theory. This is a blatant, massive fact, and it seems as though those three companies, Google, Facebook, and Twitter, appear to be on a sort of jihad to purge all the Christians from having an influential voice on the Internet.
Right.
Trust me.
So we've got about 45.
You can say that you can question what I say, but take it up with the NRB and the chairman of the FCC. This is no game now.
So, David, I don't know if you are able to hold on through a quick break, but I guess the question, this is Rich, by the way, you probably don't have our voices memorized yet, but I guess the question from me, I've got young children. I would not send my 16-year-old.
Hold on, I can't hear you at all. One of the hosts I can hear very clearly. The other one I can't hear at all.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with the feed, but
I'm not sure
like
either.
A million miles away. Could the other host ask the question?
I'll tell you what. We'll go to break. Let them know we'll go to break, and then when we come back, we'll talk to them. Okay?
Hey, David, can you hold through the break with us?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Thank you.
Okay, we'll come right back to you as soon as this break's over. Thank you for listening.
All right, you're listening to The Ride. I'm Rich DeForest. We got Brian Miller in with us on The Ride today, 92.3 FM and AM 760. We'll be right back after these messages.
Checking out a possible truck fire, 40 eastbound between Pellissippi and Cedar Bluff. That one just coming in. A wreck on Kingston Pike at Newcomb, Sevier County, Winfield Dunn Parkway, and 441. Got a wreck with injury. And in Roane County, 40 westbound on Rockwood Mountain, mile marker 341, there's a car into a guardrail. Knoxville-based Burkhardt Enterprises has immediate openings for regional flatbed drivers. If you have a Class A CDL license and 2 years experience, this is your opportunity. It's amazing benefits. Call 523-6157. Kent Stevens from the FMT Insurance Studios for Talk Radio 92.3 FM and AM 760.
Knox Cleaning Company is a family-owned and operated business. Always has been, always will be. Knox Cleaning Company specializes in every variety of cleaning. Residential, commercial, industrial sites, exterior or interior. Owner Angela Smitty takes pride in forming relationships with her company's clients built on trust and her company's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Give Knox Cleaning Company a call today and see what a difference it can make for you. 865-256-5875. That's 865-256-5875. You can also find out more by visiting knoxcleaningcompany.com.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. The Glenn Beck Program.
Enhancing the individual's power to create, to communicate. And what is the federal government doing? The federal government in all countries are clamping down on that very technology. One of us is on the wrong side of history. And it's those who don't understand the basic principles of individual liberty and sanctity. I'm excited about stuff Silicon Valley comes up with. I am not excited about what the government has.
No, I know. I didn't say I was excited about it. I said I didn't mean imagine in this wonderful John Lennon way. I meant in like a terrifying way.
I don't even know what.
That's
it's
weird.
Crazy Everything that's going on is just crazy.
Weekdays from 10 to noon. Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. Knoxville's talk you can trust.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov because fire is everyone's fight.
The Pure Magic hotline is open for The Ride. 865-888-TALK. The Ride on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760.
Take every crashing wave on the way for you.
Welcome back to The Ride, everybody. I hope you're snuggled up safely and warmly at home, enjoying a hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate with fluff in it. I like fluff in my hot chocolate. What are you making that face for? It's delicious. Anyway. Thanks for tuning into The Ride right here on 92.3 FM AM 760. We got David Rosler on the phone with us with his movie. And David, you should be able to hear me better. Are you able to hear me, my friend?
Oh, you sound great now.
All right, good. Now then, my question that I was asking to you before we went to the break is, look, I've got 4 children, okay? Mm-hmm. I went to Bible college, so I'm a supporter of biblical ideologies and thought, and I'm right there. I hate most of everything on the liberal left. I hate everything that's anti-Christ and God. But here's the thing: I would not send my kids to your site. This page that you have on the social media, I don't think that some of the vulgarity that on these little things, I'm not trying to be contentious, forgive me, but why were you so abrasive in putting some of this out?
All I'm doing with some of that stuff is simply reporting their reactions to us, because you have to understand the problem. If you just gloss it over, you have no idea until you look at some of those memes and so forth of the depraved poison, and that's the problem. You see those kind of people on the internet all the time. They never get their accounts suspended. They can do whatever they want. You know what happened to my account? If you read that page, you know. Mm-hmm. On Christmas Eve, I posted a graphic after not having been on Facebook for 16 hours. Logged in, posted a graphic, said, "The cast and crew of Orbiter wish you and yours a Merry Christmas." I posted it, bang. They deleted my account, said I was in violation of their terms of service. Mm-hmm. And it's gone. It isn't suspended. My account is gone. Everything I posted is gone.
That's a great explanation, David. So I guess all I would say is, maybe a couple of the images, okay? Look, I get what you're trying to communicate. I truly do. I would only challenge you or suggest, consider a couple of the more vulgar things, because I think you're making the message very, very clear, without maybe I would probably think about 2 of the images that I personally would take down. Anyway,
okay.
I've linked.
Well, you know what I would appreciate if you could email me and tell me which ones you think should go down, and I'll do that. We have no problem with that.
Yeah,
I'll have them take it down.
I'll screenshot it, and I just think I don't want to do anything to hurt your cause, right? I don't want any Christian to come here and go, "This guy's psychotic. Look what he's putting out."
Well, no. What I'm doing is I'm reporting the psychosis against them.
Of course you are.
I'm not psychotic. They're psychotic.
Well, and not only that, I don't want to give the liberal left anything to use as ammo against you. Now, we've only got about a minute, so let's talk about funding that you need. Let's talk about what message do we need to help you get out to help you, raise the money or get the support you need to get your movie out.
Well, I tell you, we're now getting to the point where we think that the crowdfunding site, the links have been redirected. That's what some experts think. The week before last, we had 6,000 views in 1 week while I was on 7 radio shows, and we did not get one donation. And the statistics of that are essentially impossible.
So it's the 1% rule, more or less.
Well, we don't even have 1% of 6,000 would have been 60. We don't have one.
Right.
So what I would say is, if you are investors, if you have an interest in making this thing happen, the returns, because we're self-distributing, the return's going to be absolutely fantastic. And you know, and I'm not really a salesman. I don't think and talk in those terms, but sometimes I want to pinch myself at what's available from this opportunity.
Did you say you already have a movie theater ready to show it?
I've got a whole movie theater chain that's ready to take it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, all investors care about is return.
Huh?
All investors care about is return. So, you know, you don't have to be a salesman, but it sounds like you've got good return expected.
Well, look. You know, most of the Christian films are interpersonal dramas where a marriage is falling apart and there's somebody dying in the hospital.
Right.
I don't mean to demean it, but that's true.
No,
we're going way past that. The returns are going to be there. There's no question about that. So what I would do is I would ask investors to call your radio station. It's the only way these hackers can't stop them, and say, could you please contact me, put me in contact with David Rosler or my associate producer, Kathy Schell.
Well, Brian,
we're not even sure the crowdfunding is going to work at this point, but I do hope people go to orbitermovie.com and at least tell their friends about it.
Well, you know, like I say, we posted this on our page, and we'll get it out there for you. Brian, we literally have about 30 seconds left. Any final quick comments or suggestions or thoughts for David?
Well, David, I want to wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, when you make it to East Tennessee, you give us a chance to talk to you once again with your project here in East Tennessee that you plan on developing. Certainly wish you the best of luck, and if there's other things that we can do to help you raise these funds and get your word out there, please let us know how we can do that. Okay.
The one thing.
Well, I'd love to come back and talk about it. I was listening to your show, and I think it's great.
That'd be fabulous. The one thing, David, I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to ask Roz to get your email address so I can send you the pictures that I suggest, and then you do what you want to do. It's a free country still. So.
Listen, it's probably I went as far as I did with that. I ordered those up to take it as far as I did because I thought a statement needed to be made.
All right, good point. Well done, my friend. I'm going to put you on hold, and Roz will get your email address. Hold on.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to The Ride here on 92.3 FM and AM 760, and we will be right back. Hold tight.